Hi there, Ken. I'm very happy to see that you've written your first set of essays for us. Great work. Let's take a look and see what you wrote today. Okay, schools, entertaining or merely educational? Which do you agree with? Let's see what you said here. There is no doubt that schools are crucial for children's learning and development. Some people argue that education is the only objective of schools, while others suggest that schools have other functions such as entertainment. In this essay, I will explain why I support the latter view. All right, fine. So far, so good. To start with, I believe happy schools nurture happy individuals. As an average high school student in my country spends, with an S, at least 6 hours attending classes per day and another 2 hours studying or finishing homework, with no S. As a result, school life constitutes, S, a major part of a young individual. Not a young individual, but a young individual's life, no? In recent years, there is an alarming trend of an increasing suicide rate among students in Hong Kong. According to some social workers, such a trend is largely attributable to high pressure in schools. Thus, steps should be taken to ensure our education system does not only emphasize academic results without the on, but also the mental health of its students. Okay, you started off well with this paragraph, but then there were some things I would have liked to see a little different. So remember, entertaining schools or merely educational schools. So this was fine, and this was fine. Okay, they're spending 6 hours per day in class and another 2 hours studying. So then these next couple of sentences felt a little off topic to me. What I think you should have said instead was that because of the number of hours students spend, they need to break up all of this intensity, and they have to break it up with activities that are enjoyable for them. Okay, and then you could say, when this does not happen, we see alarming trends of poor mental health, such as figures we find from Hong Kong where the suicide rate is increasing. Okay? And then you could say the rest of this part. Okay, but you just needed to change things a little bit in this paragraph. Okay, moreover, entertaining extracurricular activities can help develop children into not all-rounded, but well-rounded adults. Extracurricular activities are especially valuable to children and adolescents in primary and high schools when the personalities can still be shaped. For example, sports teams can train a child's team spirit and physical abilities, whereas culture clubs can develop their creativity and social awareness. In other words, fun activities should be incorporated into the school curriculum if we want our younger generation to develop diversified talents. In conclusion, although our school system plays a significant role to educate, significant role in education, or in educating, like the act of providing education. A fun and entertaining environment can develop happier, healthier, and more capable citizens. Okay, that's fine. Let's see here. Schools have to be more entertaining. The reason why I'm looking at the task again is because you started talking about extracurricular activities, and my feeling is that that's not necessarily appropriate to this, because the task is talking about schools. So the extracurricular activities are exactly what the word says. They are extracurricular. They're not part of the curriculum. And so here the idea is that we are talking about working within the curriculum to make the curriculum itself more entertaining and not extracurricular. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it does. So I would have liked to have seen something else in this paragraph. There were a couple of different ways, there are certainly many ways you could have developed this. But I don't believe that talking about extracurricular activities is really the best thing to do here. All right. The rest of it is fine. The good news is that a lot of your vocabulary is very nice. There is some really good grammar, but there were also some mistakes in simple grammar. And I want you to be really careful about your simple grammar, about your basic grammar. It's one thing if you make a mistake with advanced grammar, but it's another thing if you make a mistake with basic grammar. You really don't want to do that. So just keep it in mind and be a little more careful. Now, let's take a look at your second essay, shall we? All right, so let's check out now your second essay about doing an enjoyable activity with a child. It can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. Let's see what you said here. It is important to consider what an effective way to develop our children's capabilities is. Okay, some people argue that doing an enjoyable activity with a child is more effective than reading. While I agree that leisure activities can help develop many useful skills, the benefits of reading should not be neglected. Good. I like this thesis statement, really. On one hand, reading, careful. Reading, because it looks like you're saying readying. Reading is one of the most efficient ways to learn a language, improve creativity, and concentration. We can learn a wide range of vocabulary by reading just one book. Vocabulary can improve a children's language capabilities and communication skills. In addition, reading a fiction book can stimulate their imagination, thus developing a child's creativity. In contrast to other leisure activities, we often read alone. As a result, reading can help children stay focused longer. All right, I actually like this really quite a bit. So what's missing for me here is a kind of conclusive statement, okay, which was certainly what you saw in the template, where you have to just kind of round this out and talk about, rephrase the first sentence of the paragraph to just kind of complete it, okay? But other than that, I liked your arguments. I liked everything. Moving on. On the other hand, playing games with children can help them to reach their full potential, no S, in a number of ways. Firstly, most games require understanding of game rules and using strategies to win. Numerous studies have shown that playing, careful, with an L, playing chess can develop a child's cognitive functions, including memory, problem solving, and decision making. Secondly, team games promote communication collaboration skills. All right, how? Explain it to me, okay? Last but not least, physically demanding games such as hide and seek are a great exercise to train the child's physical abilities. Okay, you have to explain to me why. This paragraph is really coming across like a list, okay? So, I mean, none of this was developed a little bit, but this needed more development, this needed more development, okay? You just kind of, exactly what I said. It just sounded like a list without much illustration, without much support, anything. Also, there's nothing about creativity here, okay? So careful with that. Yeah, you talked a little bit about chess, cognitive functions, but you didn't say anything about creativity. And this would have been a good place to do that, okay? All right, so linguistics, creativity, as well as cognitive and physical skills are all fundamental skills, skills, all right? For our children to survive and thrive in a modern society. I firmly believe that we should spend more time playing, not to play, more time playing games with our children. We don't write kids in IELTS, okay? It's always children. I encourage them to read in order to help them develop these skills. Okay. I like what I saw. Yeah, there were some problems. I think I went into considerable detail about what those were. What you need to do now is correct these two essays based on my suggestions in this video. And then send that back to us, okay? Then, the next thing you need to do is create an error correction list. That's where you will write down all the errors that were pointed out to you. And then next to each error, you will write what the corrected version is. You're going to add to this list with each subsequent essay you receive back. So that's the second thing you have to do. And then the third thing you have to do, of course, is write a new set of essays. Okay? So I'll let you get to that. Good luck. And I'll be here waiting to see what you write next.